Hey, what's going on everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing my 2019 AFL preliminary finals tips and predictions. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. For the first game, we have Richmond versus Geelong. These two games are obviously massive, and I think everyone's super excited for them. Obviously, it's a Friday night game, Richmond versus Geelong, as I said, on Friday. And yeah, it's at the MCG, which I know there's been a lot of controversy about because of obviously the GMHBA thing, and I know a lot of people, sort of have different opinions on it, but I think everyone's opinion is more so on the same, that it should be played at the MCG, and to be honest, I think I agree on that. I think that's a whole different video on why it should be at the MCG, or maybe, why it shouldn't be at GMHBA and all that type of stuff. But yeah, that's not what I'm going to be talking about today. Today I'm going to be talking about the Richmond versus Geelong and GWS versus Collingwood. It's become a lot more interesting now, with one of each team's best players actually being banned. Geelong's one of their best players, obviously Tom Hawkins, their key forward, has obviously been banned for 1 week after his hit on, I think it was Will Schofield, and then Toby Green has been banned for a week for his incident with, I think it was poking another player in the eye or something like that. Now, obviously, the Tomahawk one, I think, if that was in a regular season, that probably would have been about 2 or so weeks, maybe. So, and I think that the 1 week, it's probably fair. I mean, obviously, Schofield could have gotten really hurt from what happened there, and obviously, because it's the finals, you don't really want to, miss out on potentially if Geelong were to move on to the grand final. You want the best players obviously playing, and then yeah, obviously the Tom Hawkins thing, yeah, I think probably the ban was deserved, but that's obviously gonna hurt Geelong quite a bit, and I don't know how they're going to really do. Their structure's obviously going to change quite a bit, most likely, with Tom Hawkins being injured, and I'd say Sava Radagalier would probably be their number one key up there. I'm not too sure who they're going to bring in. The rumours is they're going to bring in Gary Rowan, so I guess that's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out potentially. But yeah, it looks like, as I said, Gary Rowan will be the replacement for Tom Hawkins, and that's a little bit of a mismatch replacement, as most of you guys know, as Big Tomahawk's obviously a pretty tall key forward, while Gary Rowan's, I'd say, your medium-sized, average-sized AFL player who is mostly been a forward this year. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how that's going to work. But can they beat Richmond without Tom Hawkins? In my opinion, I don't think they can beat Richmond. Even with Tom Hawkins, I still would be tipping Richmond to beat Geelong. But yeah, obviously not having Tom Hawkins is going to make things quite a lot more difficult. But yeah, so anyway, that's why I will be tipping Richmond to beat Geelong at the MCG. Alright, so moving on to the next one now, we have Collingwood versus GWS at the MCG. And another one which is going to be really interesting, and obviously has been hit with a ban as well. As I mentioned it earlier, Toby Green has actually been hit with a 1-match ban for his eye poking of, I forgot who it was, but yeah, he did an eye poking again, and it was like the second week in a row. And I actually heard there were some people saying that he shouldn't have been banned and all of this stuff, but it's a repeated, what he did was repeated, and he has done it before, and he obviously has a pretty bad record, and he was arguably lucky to get off for the first time. And yeah, I definitely think he should have been banned. And then I saw people saying that the AFL is Victoria biased and all this stuff, and no, I completely disagree with that. Toby Green most likely should have been banned for what he did. I mean, he tried to poke someone in the eye for the second week in a row, and if the first week wasn't a big enough warning, then yeah, obviously I think maybe a ban might had to been the thing that he needed to potentially stop this, because you can't just be poking AFL players in the eyes out of, it wasn't even really frustration or anything the second time, I don't think. I think it was just a stoppage on the ground or something. He starts poking people in the eye. It doesn't make that much sense, and yeah, I don't like it at all, and I definitely think that he should most likely be banned for it. But anyway, we're moving on now. It's the Collingwood versus GWS, and it's going to be a pretty big match. Now, I think, again, this one is pretty hard to decide as well, but I mean, obviously, if this was pretty much at Giant Stadium, I probably would maybe be tipping GWS to beat Collingwood, but because this is at the MCG, and I mean, Collingwood are pretty decent at the MCG from remembrance, obviously, it's their home ground. GWS aren't obviously the best team at the MCG, which most of you guys would know. I think it's going to be pretty interesting, but I just really can't see Collingwood losing this game against GWS. I mean, GWS obviously there's going to be a couple of questions that Collingwood are going to need to answer with how they're going to take, Jeremy Cameron and all of that stuff. And obviously, GWS's pretty decent forward line. It could overpower Collingwood's back line, but I don't think that's really going to come much into it. I mean, Collingwood are the home team. It's at their home ground, and GWS don't exactly play the best there from remembrance. So I think Collingwood should get this and should win it quite easily. But yeah, who really knows? I do potentially think it's going to be a Richmond versus Collingwood grand final, but who knows? So yeah, I definitely would really like to know you guys' thoughts and opinions down below. So make sure you guys comment what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you guys agree with my tips, or what are your tips? I definitely would really like to know your thoughts and opinions down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. And as I said, comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/long channel. Link in the description down below. And if you guys haven't seen my new podcast, the first episode actually came out, obviously, and I actually interviewed my first ever AFL player. So definitely go check that out. It was a load of fun, and yeah, so yeah, definitely go check that out if you haven't already. And don't forget to comment in the comment section your tips and predictions, and if you agree with mine. So make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.